good job of getting everybody involved, and I'd like to ask him to come up here and speak first. Come on, Dave.
Thanks, Mike. I don't have too much to say about the Battle of Ballantyne. It's good that this sheet was handed out with the history of it, because everybody's got a different story about the Battle of Ballantyne, including some of the people that are here that had relatives get hurt, injured, and jailed on that day. There's just a couple of things I wanted to say. I got a call at 8 o'clock this morning from Chuck Zuckerman. Chuck Zuckerman is a member of Local 500, and about 23 years ago, Chuck took it on himself to start tours out of Vancouver, Local 500, down to Ballantyne Pier to honor all of these people that got hurt on that day on July 18th or June 18th of 1935. He phoned me from the hospital. He's not well, and he just wanted to indicate to me that he wished he could be here. This is the first one he's missed in, I think he said 23 or 24 years, and he really regretted missing it. So Chuck was a great guy behind pushing this thing as well, along with Dougie Will. The 75th anniversary, a lot of you here were there at that anniversary, and that was a hell of a day for the ILWU. We had a huge parade, and all of the younger people, we got a lot of younger people involved to learn the history of the Battle of Ballantyne and all the struggles that our union went through. I want to tell you about the 76th anniversary of the Battle of Ballantyne. There was 3 of us here. On the 75th there was about 4,000, on the 76th there was 3, and on the 77th there was 5, and we're now at the 79th, and we've got 30, 40, and maybe next year I understand that the union will put on another demonstration or another march, and maybe we'll have some more thousands here at that time. So it's good that you've all come out. I really appreciate seeing you here. It's a worthwhile event to celebrate. Or not particularly to celebrate, but to honor those people that went before us, to set the rules and give us most of the things that we're living by today. Now, it took us quite a struggle to get this rock up here, and we had all kinds of problems. One of the problems that we went through, see, we got a lot of people here that are active in maybe the home building field. One of the problems we got into was we knew eventually, and it's been here, this is the 4th year it's been here, and we knew eventually somebody would come along and spray paint it. Well, somebody did. And the guy that carved the rock assured us that we'd be able to clean off any kind of spray that went on it, and it would be as good as new. Well, that didn't work. So on the back, you can't see it, but on the back somebody used some white spray and spray painted the back of it. Now, most of it's off. Brother McKinley and I have been working on it. We've got most of it off, but some of it is really etched into the rock. So we need some help. We need some help from some people who may know how to get the rest of that graffiti off. And it's not too bad. Even if you go back and look at it now, you can barely see it. But when it rains, it flashes out. It jumps right out at you. It's really shows when it rains. So if anybody's got any advice for us on how to finish cleaning that up, we'd appreciate it. So on behalf of myself, my old partner, Frank Kennedy, who helped with this, I want to thank you for being here, and thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dave. Well, thank you, Dave. I got a few things to say. I'm a little older than Dave, so I have to write this stuff down, right? So we're not only here to remember the Battle of Ballantyne Pier, but also remember the 18 members of the Iron Workers Union who fell to their death 56 years ago yesterday, when this bridge over here was the second narrowest bridge, and now it's the Iron Workers Memorial Bridge. We're here today also to remember those guys. Now, the Battle of Ballantyne Pier was just many of the struggles that workers went through in their attempt to organize unions on the Vancouver waterfront. But it was unique in the fact that it was so violent. They had machine guns. They actually had machine guns set up on the dock. They weren't fired, but they were there. They were fighting in the lanes and on the streets in all that east side area. A police on horseback wailing away with truncheons. People shot in the back with birdshot. And the first time in Canada that tear gas was ever used against workers. There was 500 criminal charges. There was 148 convictions, and there was 18 longshoremen and seamen who went to jail with terms of 3 months up to a year. And it wasn't only here in Vancouver. They had the same problem on the river with the scabs over there. The union was broken. And if you read the history of the waterfront here in Vancouver, it's not surprising, because the employers had the upper hand for many years, and they weren't about to give that up and lose control on this waterfront. The first longshore union was established in Vancouver in 1888, and it was broken in 1903. In 1912, an ILA local was chartered here, and it was smashed in 1923. And company unions mainly ran the docks here until 1944, when longshoremen here voted to join the ILWU. And it wasn't until 1956 before all the unions in the coast were in the same union. Or all the locals, I should say, on the coast belonged to the same union. And really, what's happening today? We've got 2 ILWU locals in Washington and Oregon that have been locked out. Scabs are running those grain terminals. A private security group has been hired to look after those scabs. And those guys haven't worked for over a year. So really, it's a never-ending struggle. We're here today to honor the people who fought to defend their union. And I'm sure they could never envision what we have today. We're the beneficiaries of what these guys fought for in the past, and we should never forget on how we got here. If there's anyone else who'd like to come up and say a few words, you're more than welcome. Anyone else? We usually have to wait a while before somebody makes a move.
Absolutely. Follow the leader.
Well, brothers, I just want to let you know my grandfather was a victim of the 35 strike. Thomas Wilson, an Irish immigrant, came here, started on the docks, and then after 35, he went to work for the municipality of Burnaby until he retired. But anyways, that was one. And I imagine there's many in the crowd here that have had family that have been here. So thank you.
Very good. I'd also like to mention that Dave Koch is here today. His grandfather was one of the 35 strikers. He was blacklisted. They lost their home, and he didn't get back to work on the docks for years. We've got a lot of family here. There's a lot of sons of longshoremen, nieces and nephews, and thank you all very much for coming here today.